Good afternoon, learners. I am presenting my screen. Today we will discuss about your learner support system. Now I am presenting my screen. Once again, good afternoon, all of you. And this is learner support system presented by myself, Kalyani Manji, Principal at Kencher. What is learner support system? In this two word are present, that is learner and another is support system. In the layman's view, whenever we go to the clinic or a hospital or a bank, we get a support to avail our maximum facility or maximum services. Whenever you go to a bank, there you see an window may help you. Uh, what do you mean about that window? May I help you? This is the window for uh, to give you the maximum facility or whatever your question in your mind. They will give you answer, and by this window you can solve all your queries and avail the best services. Similarly, whenever you go to the bank, there is a whenever you go to the hospital, there is also a window and a support system. In every where every institution, every organization has a support system, and by this support system, you can get maximum facility, avail maximum facility. So today we will discuss how the learner support system help the learner to avail maximum facility in an institution. So you are a distance learner, and uh, in this distance system or distance education system, learner support system plays a crucial role. It is very important part towards completion of the course. So, in this unit, the learning outcome or objectives are after go through the module or after go through the unit one, you can define learner support system and list the types of support system provided by IGNO and provided by your course. State the need for learner support system. Distinguish between distance learner and conventional learner. Discuss the factor affecting the provision of support system and also categorize the different models of learner system. This is the unit 1, and the unit 1 the these are the learning outcome or objectives. After completion of this unit 1, you can define learner support system and what types of support system provided to you, and what types of support system do you want and avail, and what is the basic difference between distance learner and conventional learner? So, distance education system is an effective and alternative education system which plays a very significant role in educating the masses in the 21st century. Nowadays, most of the adults are engaged themselves in the earning resources, so they need a distance education system. And whenever we go through the NEP or National Education Policy 2020, we saw that there is a gross enrollment ratio in higher education is approximately 27%, and um, uh, it, it may be 50% in after 10 years. So this is the system, or this is the educational system in which the most of the learners are the adults. So the advancement in the field of science and technology has changed the face of distance education completely. Nowadays, the face of distance education is changed completely by the automated system or by the technology and science. The chalk and talk method of learning has been transferred into a technology oriented learning platform that now also you are provided the technology learning system, that is online classroom through Google Meet. So the revolution brought into the field of information and communication technology plays a very significant role in understanding the programs, learners, designing learners materials and support activities, and also managing and evaluating the program, and so on. In distance education, there is extensive use of ICT, information and communication technology, and therefore there is a paradigm shift only print medium to a multimedia platform. The virtual learning environment carried out through the web, computer mediated conferencing, CD-ROM, Ganadarshan channel through the channels Ganadarshan, Ganbani, and EduSet supported learning system have really changed the education system, or really changed the distance education system completely, and provide maximum support to the adult learners. At present, we see that there is an increasing demand for distance courses in India due to its cost effectiveness. And this is the most important part for the adult learners. We are live in a poverty. Maximum people of India live in poverty, under poverty. So want they want an education system, or they want completion of course in a cost effective manner. So in this distance learning system, they easily avail a cost effective education system or cost effective course pattern. Every day, new demands are projected for new courses. A number of institute, university boards, and councils are initiating courses to meet the demands. The People University, we call the IGNO the People University, which is termed as People's University in India, is offering more than 200 academic programs of study through 3,500 courses with student strength over 30 lakh. These constitute 18.2% of the total enrollment. That I previously said that we want now 100% or 50% enrollment in higher education is desirable in our education system. So IGNO, these constitute 18.2% of the total enrollment in higher education in the country. So the growth of demand for distance education necessitates the maintenance of quality education. We must avail education, but that should be a quality education. And quantitative growth in no way should compromise with the quality. So now we are discussing what are support system. A range of services are provided through activities such as in your study center, or in your IGNOR, the people university provide different types of support system that are advice, counseling, tutoring individually and in groups, The learning of study skills, including examination skills, peer group support, feedback concerning assessment and progress, language support, career guidance, administrative support, and different types of administrative problem solving support. In this regard, Robinson in 1995 has viewed learner support system as having three components: the elements that make up the system and their configuration, and the interaction between them and the learner, which creates a dynamic system. The elements of the systems are personal contact between learner and support agents, individuals or groups, face to face or via other means. Means that is or online mode or online classroom conferencing, different types of system. Then another element is peer contact and the activity of giving feedback to individual on learning. Another is additional materials such as handbook, advice, notes, or guides. And also study groups and centers, actual or virtual. Virtual means electronic medium. And another one is access to library, laboratory equipment, and communication network. Then we had to discuss the category of the support system. How many category of the support system are provided by the IGNO and also to you. The support service focus mainly on the establishment of centers, registration, study material distribution, library facility, examination, and evaluation for the distance learner. The activities under various support systems are as follow: establishment and maintenance of regional study center. Under the establishment support services, there are several support services like locations should be identified geographically. Then the study center should be equipped with minimum educational infrastructure facilities. Then technological facilities should be provided to the center. Then pre-admission services. Before admission services, what are the services provided? The prospectus come admission form for academic program should be available both online and offline to the prospective learners. Then information services. Information should be provided academic that are academic programs, admission procedure, and schedules. Encourage prospective learners who desire to pursue their study through distance mode. In the information services, the learners get different types of information regarding admission procedure, schedule, and also the fee structure of the course. And also the types of support system in the pre-entry stage, that is guidance about the types of program and scores available. If you go to the study center, regional center, there you get your get some information about the types of programs provided by the IGNO and what are the courses available and what are the courses are useful for you, and pre-admission counseling with regard to selection of course. After selecting the course, you can you get your pre-admission counseling session also, information regarding the instructional system, entry requirement, fee structure, duration of the program of the study, and recognition of forward, and also advice regarding fee reimbursement and fee concessions. During the course stage, whenever one learner after taking admission into the course, now he or she can avail different types of services that are an introduction into the instructional system of the organization, distribution of self-learning materials, and distribution of assignment, and provision of TV programs what are already recorded or online or live telecast in TV. The different types of classes, live telecast of classes in TV program, radio broadcast, teleconferencing, and provision of library facility, and also organization of practical and science lab, computer lab, industry, etc. Organization of assignment, evaluation, and feedback through tutor and comments. Also, during the course stage, the learners avail the support services like development of study skills and structuring your learning, provision of counseling and tutoring services, face-to-face sessions, and conduct of examination, communication of result and assessment through online and offline, provision of relevant, accurate, and unbiased information. And also self-learning material are dispatched through post or also direct from the regional center or study center. The learners can get examination and evaluation services in their study center, library services in the study center, also in the regional center, financial support, technological services, electronic media services, additional support services, communication of final result, grade, award, and convocation. Advice regarding career advancement also, career counseling programs are conducted in the study center and regional center. Job opportunity, what are the job they get in the job market, and job opportunity and future prospects. Obtaining feedback on the programs and services provided. In self-learning material dispatch. Timely dispatch of study material and the assignment to the newly enrolled students. You are provided different types of self-learning materials according to your course or your syllabus. You are provided timely and before the semester you provided through postal through or you can avail the study material in your study center or regional center. You can bring this study material also, and proper inventory management to be linked with the current enrollment and future enrollment of students to ensure timely availability of study materials. Timely transmission of the admission related data to the material production and distribution division. There is also a division distribution division system, and according to your database the material are dispatched to you, and you can get easily the study material in time. Printing and availability of study material from the concerned school of study. And next, examination and evaluation services. Preparation of guidelines for conducting examination and evaluation assignments, and also arrangement of evaluation of answer scripts, scrutiny of the answer sheets, and preparation of award list. Conducting entrance tests for admission to the program, selection of examination center, appointment of paper setter, center superintendent, and observer also. Dispatch the grade, final result, students, preparation of certificate, diploma, degree to be awarded to the successful students. Continuous assessment of students' performance through assignment. analysis of examination results, then development of new methods of assessment and evaluation. After different analysis of examination result, the new methods and new assessment system is developed and implemented in the next years. Then library services provided to the learners, that are reference and referral services, bibliography and indexing services, user guidance. Uh, there is referral means example, for example, refer to any library or other institution outside the library, but reference is inside the study center or research center available. And user guidance is also available, current awareness services, and different types of circulating documents, reprography services. For example, used only the library to record and protect the data. It is called as reprography services and online database. And financial support and technological services, financial assistance to the needy learners in terms of subsidy in course fee may be provided as per university norms. Setup and maintenance of computer laboratory, providing ICT resources, providing networking facility at each and every centers whenever the learners need. Electronic media services, encouragement the learners to use audio, video, and for participation in teleconferencing under the guidance of the concerned counselors. Availability and use of audio video at the study center as per the university guideline. Then advance information to the students about the forthcoming interactive radio program and teleconferencing sessions. Besides this support system, an additional different types of additional support systems also provided to the learners, that are change of medium. If they want to change their medium from English to Hindi or Hindi to English, it can be informed, and support is provided to them. Elective course and program, learners can change their programs, elective course, and medium of study during their course of the study. Then change of address. In respect of change of study, change of address. In respect of change of the study center, regional center, the learner's profile need to be updated accordingly. If one learner requests to change the address, accordingly his or her address can be changed, updated accordingly. Issue of migration certificate, transcript provisional certificate, course completion certificate. Certificate are issued to the learners who have completed the academic program from the institution. Then issue of enrollment cards. The enrollment cards are issued to the learners, which can be used for availing library facility, attending classes, appearing for examination and other purposes. Then arrangement of personal contact programs. The counseling schedules and teleconferencing schedules are to be prepared and sent to the learners well in advance, so that they can join in time and avail maximum services, or uh, clear their doubts, and attend the class in time. Audio, video, and computer facility are also to be arranged simultaneously during the counseling session. The need for support. Whenever you think about anything, we three questions in our mind: what, when, and how. So, what is the need for the the support system. Why the learners need a support system or support services during his course. So this is some definition or some description about why the learner need a support service. Characteristics of the distance learner. The learners may be of any age group, starting from school age to the senior citizen level, or a family or a students of an organized institution. These take precedence over the institute which provides the course. Learning is a part-time secondary activity. So the learner returns to the role he had some time ago. Contact with the fellow learners may not be easy. Why the learners need the support services? Because the most of the learners in the distance system are adults, and they are engaged themselves in different institutions or different workshops or different multinational companies. So they get little time to update their knowledge, or they avail their choice of courses. So here the learner returns to the role he had some time ago, and contact with the fellow learner may not be easy. So there should be a support system in every distance learning system. So here the learner contact with the institute is not infrequent and often takes place across the distance. So that's why the learner need a support system whenever he require, and need guidance. They can easily available all their services from the support system and get perfect and right information about their course during their less time, and it is easily available in low cost or reasonable cost, and they get different type of courses, and also they avail services according to their need. So this is the difference between conventional system and distance education system. Learning in conventional system, learning is a full-time and major activity, but in distance education system, learning is a part-time and secondary activity. Here, the distance education system, the learning and the earning simultaneously going for a learner. Secondly, the learner remains in one role and continue the membership a learning institution. In conventional system, wholeheartedly or continuously, the learner remains in one role. But in the distance education system, the learner returns to a role he or she had some time ago, and the time is divided in earning and learning. Thirdly, the learner belongs to an institution, but in distance education system, the learner is a member of many institutions. Most of, for example, the learner work, and the learner work for the family, and the learner work for himself or capacity build, and spend some times for his or her capacity build up, most of which take precedence over the institution which give the course. Then the learner is usually a young person, but in distance education system, maximum learners are adult. In conventional system, the learner is in easy contact with the fellow learners, but in distance education system, contact with fellow learners may not be easy. Sometimes it is difficult to contact the learner. Then in conventional system, the learner has easy access to the institutional resources, but in the distance education system, the learner contact with the institution is infrequent and often takes place across a distance. In potential use of ICT services and networking services to improve learner support services. For dissemination of knowledge and providing effective student support system services, the university has established 37 FM Gyan Bani radio stations and two Gyanadarshan educational television channels. E-Gyanakos and educational web-based portal developed by IGNO has emerged as largest educational resource repository in the world with with e-content of more than 2,200 courses and 2,000 video lectures. EduSat is the first Indian satellite built exclusively for serving the educational sector. It is mainly intended to meet the demand for an interactive satellite based distance education system for the country. So, IGNO, the People's University, is a vast university and it has a large or huge repository of educational video lectures. And through EduSat, it can provide different types of learning lectures and different types of videos live telecast to the learners. IGNO use EduSat network for providing following services. So EduSat is the first system, satellite system, and IGNO provided different types of services through EduSat that are satellite communication enabled education, virtual classroom, video on demand, database access, national and state level repository, online operations, linking FM radio station of IGNO for simultaneous broadcast of programs. So you can avail different types of virtual classroom video on demand and also database access, national and state level repository, online operations, linking FM radio, all of these. IGNO use their website for providing following services also. IGNO has its own website and by this website IGNO provides different types of services like checking the postal address of the students, study center declaration of term and results, grade card status, entrance examination result, status of course material dispatch, online submission of examination form, download various types of forms, formats, readmission, re-registration, early declaration results, assignment of different programs, course, and access to question paper of previous examination. It is a very good platform wherever the learners access the previous year's question paper and solve assignment papers. And it is a reference for them to completion the course easily. And message alert services. Provides the message alert services in the distance education is a boom to distance learners. Is a boon to distance learners. To make use of these services, students have to register their cell phone number, and by this, students will receive automated communication in message format on their cell phones, such as admission confirmation, dispatch of lessons, or dispatch of study material, personal contact program schedule, reminders of last date for payment of fees, and reminder of payment of fees, and also examination dates and results. Then monitoring mechanism of the support services. Uh, each and every work should be monitored for which the institution or the programs conduct smoothly. So the monitoring of the support services in the university is mainly undertaken at the headquarters level and at the regional center level. At this headquarters, a task force has been formed which regularly review the working of the support system of the university. Beside this, there is a mechanism of monthly monitoring report through which information on various aspects of the support system are obtained from the regional center. Now we have to discuss the factor affecting the provision of the support system. What are the factors that affect the support system? Mm, Number one, factors to be considered while designing a learner support system. So, every factors are considered while designing a learner support system are the resources of the organization and the instructional package employed, delivery form, the target audience, and also the socio-economic educational culture in which it operates, and the level of availability of media at home, workplace of the target audience. Different types of factors affecting the support system, and that should be catered by the university, and day by day by analysis report it can be overcome, and now the support system is strengthened and provide maximum services to the learner. And according, there are different models of learner system. Um, Number one, different types of models are available in the system. One is defined by the Seward in 1989. He has classified them into three broad groups. The first group covers the traditional correspondence schools who send materials by post to the learner, who study in isolation and send back assignments. Previously, it is a traditional correspondence school, and the materials are provided to the study center, provided by the study center, and then the assignment are sent back to the school for marking and comments. This postal communication is the only interaction between the institution and the learner. This is a conventional or traditional correspondence system of distance education. Then Seward categorized the second group is similar to the conventional pattern of teaching in higher education where learners study alone but also attend lecture and seminars. The distance learners study themselves or they develop self study, and sometimes they attend lectures and seminars about their course and course of study. Then Seward defined the third group, that alternatively known as UK Open University model, provides enormous support to the learners, and the learners choose whichever form is communication suits them the best. Here, the learners usually choose the support services by them, and these institutions use either mediated or face-to-face means, or a combination of both through the medium of study center. So here, the UK Open University model, the learners choose themselves the support services. It may be a face-to-face mode, or it may be a conventional module. The learner can choose themselves. And if they choose face to face means, or they choose both of them or combination of both face to face and mediated, they avail medium of study center, regional center, or communication network. They avail different types of services. This is the all over about your unit one. Let's sum up some um, we covered in unit one, that is whatever the how the support system provides services during the pre-entry stage and during the course and after the completion of the course. So here this is your course material. The table is available in your course material and module. And in the pre-entry stage, the learners guide about types of programs, pre-admission counseling, information regarding the system, advice regarding the concessions, and during the course, the learner avail induction into the system. After admission, the learner get through a induction program and self-instructed material and assignment. They get self-instruction material and assignments, and also regular broadcast and tele-counseling, library facility, and also practicals and assignment, evaluation and feedback on the assessment, counseling and tutoring sessions, examinations, results, information from time to time. But after the completion of the course, they avail different types of services like final results or grade card, convocation, advice regarding career, other prospects, giving feedback to the institution. And thirdly, we cover that what are the difference between the conventional learner and distance learner. According to this, the support services may be provided. So the difference between the conventional learner and distance learner is, in conventional learner is a full-time learner. It belongs to an institution and usually a young one, and also easy. The contact of the learner is very easy with peer group also himself or herself, and has easy access to institutional resources. But a distance learner is something different. It is a part-time learner and also a member of many institutions, means a member of home, member of family, and a member of different types of company or other institutions. So it is little difficult to contact the learner every time. So the learner may be contacted according to their need. And all the learners or maximum learners are adult in the distance learner. And contact with the peer group is not very easy because they are busy in different works. And contact with the institution is very infrequent. And they also contact with the institution very rarely according to their availability, and access is often at a distance. So here the support services plays a crucial role to provide different types of support services and successful completion of their course. This is all about the unit one. Now we go to the unit two, that is reading skill of your block one. So the block one, unit two is reading skill. In this reading skill, the objective is to after completion of the unit two, you can define reading, identify the learning levels of reading, and the SQ3R technique, and also importance of reading comprehension skill, and relate teaching of reading to distance education. Now I am presenting the your module. That is unit 2 reading skill. This is your module reading skill. The objectives are define reading, identify the level of reading, and teach SQ through your technique to your learner, and also importance of reading comprehension skill, and relate teaching to the reading in distance education. You got your material and go through it. Uh, we discuss some points and some reflection about the unit 2. Learners as active consumers of information. Learners are always the consumers of information and must have strategy to process, assimilate, and accommodate information. Whatever knowledge they previously assimilated in their mind or in their brain, they are over shadowed or accommodated by new knowledge. And the learner is always a consumer of information. So, in other words, you can say that they should be able to relate new experiences to what they already know. And new experiences are accommodated or modified by their brain and they behave like or their behavior is modified by the new experiences. Then we define reading. Reading can be loosely defined as the ability to make sense of written or printed words. The reader uses the symbols to activate the information from his or her memory and subsequently uses this information to arrive at a plausible interpretation of the writer's message. So, in every reading, the learner interprets the writer's message, and accomplished readers can thus cope with the fact that many words have different meanings in different contexts. So they can use this knowledge to unfold ambiguity and appreciate equivocations. They can combine the meaning of individual words to derive meaning of sentences and more extended passages of prose and poetry. Then you can easily now define the reading. Reading is the identification of written words, or reading is the appreciation of the author thoughts. Now we can take some examples that are in your module. Consider the following and say who according to you. You say you read the four examples or see the four examples and define what is the best example of reading here according to you. Perform the act of reading. Who perform the act of reading? First example is Omar is able to decode correctly all the words in a passage. However, he cannot answer any question on the passage. And Binny, another example is Binny makes a number of mistakes in decoding words, but the mistake which she makes do not seem to prevent her from answering any of the question on the passage. The third example is Cynthia reads a passage on nuclear weapon, a subject about which she has very strong feeling. She has difficulty in answering the questions. Then the fourth example is Durai can decode the words in the passage and he thinks that he knows the meaning of all the words. However, Durai cannot also answer the question on the passage. So, according to you, which is the example of reading? If you analyze the if you analyze the four examples, we can easily say that Binny is the only person who is actually reading because she is the only one who understands what she is reading. But although Amar can verbalize the words, he has no comprehension of them. Similarly, Cynthia can also decode the words, but her strong feeling about the topic prevent her from getting the message. Similarly, Durai can decode the words, but he knows the meaning of the individual words, but he either not able to get the sense of the whole passage. So, lastly, we can say word recognition alone does not guarantee reading comprehension. So, reading is a process whereby a reader brings meaning to and gets meaning from print. So, reading can be therefore described. Reading can be a active interrogation of of an interaction with a text. So, reading is thus an interactive process. We can conclude that reading is an interactive process and includes the comprehension, which a reader, by actively interacting with the text, tries to decode what has been encoded by the writer or author. In this process, he establishes a meaningful communication with the writer. So, reading brings a meaningful communication with the writer to the reader. We know that reading. We discussed previously that reading is an integrative process. It includes the cognitive process, the perceptual process, and affective process. Now we have to discuss the cognitive process. It related the cognitive process inside our brain, or it is a thinking process. In the layman's view, cognitive process related to the thinking process, readers have to relate what they are reading to their past experiences and interpret information and infer meaning from it and ignore some information and attend to other relevant information. So it is a process takes part inside the brain, and the brain inside the brain the reader the thinking ability is increased, and the reader carefully thinking about how the writers or authors want to say or want to define in their writings. The cognitive domain includes all the comprehension skills. Teachers can help learners in developing the thinking skills by helping them acquire necessary strategy and by giving them practice in using this strategy. If here if the counselor or tutor want to develop reading skill among the learners, he can build he should be build a strategy to develop the thinking or comprehension skill and help always the learners to develop the thinking skill by maintaining or developing different strategies. So another part of integrative process is the perceptual domain. We covered the cognitive domain and then the perceptual domain. The perceptual domain is in maybe a visual perception, and here in reading the visual perception is the most important factor because the eye movement influence and control the reader what reader perceives. So here the eyes play important role in the reading, and what the reader perceive it is impacted by the eye movement. So in the perceptual domain, There are different types of factors like motivation, attention, grouping of stimuli, contrast, and feedback. Motivation. Motivation is the attitudinal factor, and the learner need to identify the unknown part or part of the particular text. Then attention. Attention is the another factor. It is very powerful as powerful selector or stimulus to for the perceptual domain. And then the grouping of stimuli. Recognizable syllables and other patterns for making optimum use of a limited span of attention. Then contrast. The contrastive letter pattern that present contrastive sound pattern, and also feedback, a cycling process ranging from the examination of letter grouping. This is the cycling process. The feedback motivate if the learner get positive feedback or the reader get positive feedback, it, it may be motivate his or her attitude, and then extend her attention and extend and increase the stimulus, and the later may be contrastive, and the perceptual domain is activated. So now we have to define the affective domain. As we mentioned earlier that the perceptual process is influenced by affective factor. For example, if you are angry and see the word food, you would perhaps read it as full. If you have adverse feeling about certain things, these feelings will influence our reading. So our feelings also influence what we decided to read. So, therefore, attitude exerts a directive and dynamic influence on our readiness to respond or what we read. Then we discuss about the taxonomy of reading. We before we know the taxonomy, the Bloom's taxonomy about the domain, the cognitive domain and the cognitive affective domain, defined by the Bloom's taxonomy, and some action verbs are defined by Bloom's. Here, the Barrett's taxonomy of reading comprehension is defined here. Barrett's described that. Uh, Reading comprehension is widely accepted. The Barrett's taxonomy of reading comprehension nowadays is widely accepted, and in his taxonomy there are four categories. One is literal comprehension, another is inferential comprehension, and another is evaluation comprehension, and another is appreciation. So, what is the literal comprehension? We already discussed that comprehension is the important part in reading. So, what is the literal comprehension? The literal comprehension is recognition of details or main idea, sequence, or comparison. Recognition of cause and effect relationship, and also identify or produce from memory reasons for certain incidents, events, or characters action explicitly stated in the text. Then recognition of character traits. So overally, you can conclude the literal comprehension is the detail, main idea, sequence, and comparison. Now we discuss about the inferential comprehension. The inferential comprehension means inferring the main idea, supporting details, sequence, comparison, cause and effect, relationship, character traits. Inferring outcome, and also the figurative language means um, sometimes the writers write that uh, that news published in the Times of India hit me like a tons of bricks. And in this sentence, the it is a figurative language described by the author, and it may be derived by the reader. So, in inferential comprehension, it is the reader derived the actual meaning of the figurative language. And reading between the language. Also, think and search. It is also reading between the lines or drawing general inference. And another step of Barrett's taxonomy is evaluation. Evaluation in reading. Example: judgment about reality or fantasy, fact or opinion. Whenever the reader clearly defined or clearly understood that judgment about reality or fantasy, fact or opinions, and also judgment about appropriateness and judgment about worth, desirability, acceptability, it is we can define that the reader is defined the eval, evaluative reader, or also the reader make the author evaluative. Then appreciation. The step is appreciation in Garrett taxonomy. Appreciation means prime motive of the task is to heighten the learner's sensitivity and help them to appreciate the technique used by the author. For example, emotion response to a plot or theme, identification with the character or incidents, reactions to the author, use of language, and sensitivity toward imagery or dictation. In general, this taxonomy can help teachers to determine what reading materials they use or intend to emphasize with respect to comprehension. Further, it helps them to provide tasks that enable the learners to think and react in different ways when they read a text and to emphasize the comprehension ability or abilities that a given text can easily contribute. Then you discuss about the strategies in reading. Different strategies are present in reading. The stages are recognition of words. The first step is recognition of words, then association of meaning with symbols, then literal comprehension, interpretation, critical reading, and creative reading. The last two, critical reading and creative reading, are independent reading where the learners widen their knowledge and widen their thoughts and easily interpret the author's language. So here in distance learning system, the learner should have developed a comprehensive reading skill. That's why he can easily comprehend all the course material and access different online or offline learning resources and easily complete the course and also make them very dynamic and a expressive person. So reading skill is an important part in the distance learning system because in this system there is less interaction between the counselor or tutor and learner. So the learner then make themselves very competent in reading skill. The first one is association of meaning with symbol. First one is recognition of words. The recognition of words means the vocabulary, context clue, phonetic clue. By the context clue, phonetic clue, structural clue, and the dictionary, by the dictionary, the reader can recognize the words. Then these words are associated of meaningful with the symbols. The word rational, for example, um, the word rational is generally used in mathematics in a special sense. But there are also words which have only the technical meaning. They often belongs to one particular area. For example, scoop. Scoop is a journalism word, and rational is a mathematical word, but uh, in different sentences or different varieties, the meaning is different. Of course, while the passage of time, such words also get generalized as they are used in more and more diverse contexts. These words can be used in more diversified contexts. Then, literal comprehension. In literal comprehension, therefore, the learner must learn not to only read for accurate literal understanding of individual facts, but also to understand the particular relationship these facts may have to other facts. Then, interpretation. Interpretation in this step or stage, the reader is able to make inference and draw conclusion. After interpreting or analyzing the context, the reader easily draw inference and conclusion. Then after critical reading, the evaluation aspect of reading act, the evaluation aspect is also called as critical reading aspect. In this aspect, the reader is working on a novel. He or she evaluates the logic of the character's behavior in comparison with his or her own experiences or by his observation of character in other work. So here the reader evaluates the characteristics of the author's character and also connect with these characteristics with himself and also other experiential characteristics. Then creative reading. At this stage, the reader tries to come up with a new or effective alternative idea and solution. Creativity is something different, it is a higher order mental activity, and in this stage, the reader comes to know how to get into a printed page, how to get what she wants from, and how to get out of it, and when any more time spent on how many times spent on it would be a waste. Then reading SQ3R technique. SQ technique means survey, question, read, recall, and review. Survey the general subject area, the level of approach, the author's name, and the date and place of publication. The reader survey that the author's general subject area, level of approach, author's name. The readers get information about the preface, will give you a more details, the table of contents, and in the questions step, the reader have some questions like how far can I depend on this book? Will the book be helpful to me as it preface suggests? Why should the author devote a whole chapter to this or that topic? Even these general questions are of some help to you in deciding how to treat the book. This is some general question for the reader, how the reader treat the book and how far the book is helpful for the reader. Then read. Read is the important suggestion. It is not advisable to make notes at this stage. And then the recall is the step where all the steps are followed. Instead, the first step is learning what is need to be recalled for retention. We recall for our retention. When we want to retain some facts or some knowledge, we have to recall whatever we read previously. After that, a review. The purpose of reviewing is to check the validity of our recall, and it is a quick repeat of the all other four steps, that is survey, question, read, and recall. Then we should develop a reading skill among the distance learner, the the basic reading skill and experiences in the area in which he or she reading, her interest in the material, her purpose of reading, level of difficulty of the material. This section presents some important reading comprehension skill which the teacher, no matter whether they are subject teacher or language teacher, should teach in order to make the learner a mature reader. So, how the teacher make the learner, how the counselor or tutor make the learner a mature reader? This is some. There are some tricks or steps to be followed by the tutor or counselor. Finding the main and central area. We generally use the term central area rather than main idea. When you refer to a group or paragraph, a story or a story, to find out the central idea, introductory paragraph is usually helpful. We know that in the introductory paragraph, whenever we visit or follow a research abstract or research article, there is abstract. In the abstract, all over the idea of a research is present. Similarly, in introductory paragraph, all the over idea of the topic or the story is present, and here it can be easily comprehended by the reader. So, reading between the lines. Many writers do not directly state what they mean, but present the idea in a more indirect or roundabout way. They present their idea in an indirect way. That is why the ability to infer is called the ability to read between the lines. To extract the indirect idea of the author, the reader can go through the uh, read between the lines. For example, in a story based on essentially on the ability of the characters to uncover evidence in the form of clues that are not obvious to the other around them. So, good readers, while reading, try to gather clues to draw inference about what they read. So, these clues make them to infer all the story very easily. And asking key questions about the material, the tutor or counselor can asking some key question to the reader which the learner are reading will encourage them to draw the inference. In categorizing means identify the words. If we want to develop reading skill among the learner. Sometimes we develop identify the words in each set of words given below, which does not belong to the set. The learner, in this example, the learners can identify the difficulty and classify the odd one out. Teachers use analogy activity to teach and test learner understanding of concept in a particular area. For example, rock is to geologist as bird is to ornithologist. Similarly, distance is to odometer as direction is to compass. So here the activity increase the appropriateness of answer among the learner. Then distinguish between fact and opinion. Teachers should help their learners to recognize that everything that they read is not a necessary true or correct. It may not be correct. It may or may not be correct. And another activity teachers can do with the learner, that is creative reading. It involves divergent thinking among the learners. And another activity the teachers can do, that is brainstorming. It is generally in generating many different ideas without inhibition, and it helps the learner for imagination. So the teacher can place different activities or follow different methods or approaches to develop the reading skill among the readers or among the learners. Now this is all about your unit 2 reading skill. Let's sum up. Reading is an interactive process and it is difficult to give a single definition to reading. And Barrett's taxonomy of reading comprehension has four categories: literal comprehension, inferential comprehension, evaluation, and appreciation. Reading subsum comprehension. It is necessary to expose the learner to essential reading skill. That's why the learners develop a good reading skill. The discussion of reading is not confined to classroom teaching only, as it is highly relevant to distance teaching or learning too. The questions built in the text help the learner assimilate what they are reading and relate it to what they are already read. These builds in questions function as catalyst. In this unit, different types of question check your progress. In the check your progress, and it will help you to build questions and it will help your reading skills to develop reading skills. Besides, we discuss SQ3R technique, that is survey question, read, recall, and review. This is the process of reading skill, and one by one it is developed. And in the review stage, all four steps are followed or covered. Then you go to the unit 4. Your unit 4. Sorry. Now we can go to unit 3 of model 1, that is study skills. In this unit, you can define the term study skills, state the significance of teaching learning study skills, relate the teaching learning of study skills to distance education, arrive at a conclusion that study skills are essential for distance learners, and employ all the study skills successfully in your own studies. With the advent of new educational technology, systematic approach to writing course material, program learnings, television, and computer assisted instruction, studying has become less distinct from the instructional process and more interview with the presentation of subject matter. So now we can easily define the study skills, that study skills include a toolkit, the best way of acquiring knowledge, a set of organization skill and micro skills or sub skills, systematic study habits, and so on. For some of the people or some of the learners, study skills are strategy to be developed by a learner to derive the greatest possible benefit from activity like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. For others, study skills are advanced skills which are not purely mechanical but essentially involves some amount of creative thinking. So overall, you can define study skills as the skills or strategy that a learner employs to study and come to grips with the study materials independently and efficiently. Study skills refers to following a course of lecture and taking notes, being acquainted with and being taught all that is necessary to know about a subject, cramming chunks out of or the whole of subject matter, the diligent and systematic pursuit of understanding, and dedicating one's thought and energies to learning. We can elaborate this by saying study involves you in a setting of goals and choosing methods, solving problems, performing experiment, going thought test, collecting information, segregating facts from opinion or suggestions, comparing facts, weighing of opinions and considering suggestion, and finally looking for proof and truth. Study thus demands you to analyze and criticize not only your own idea but also those of other people. Whether you hear them in lectures or discussion to read them in books. And what are the significance of teaching study skills? I don't know how to study. Sometimes some learners say that I spent the whole day studying but could not fare well in the exam. And sometimes learners say, I don't even remember that I read, though I spent the whole night studying. And sometimes another learner say that I don't know how to study and I always listen to music when I study. So perhaps you have had or made many more statements of this kind. So at higher level, the learner should develop his or her own study habits or methods. Set his or her own target and his own guide. Now you see that most of the civil servant achievers are they made their study skills and follow their study skills and achieve the civil service examination. So, sometimes in elementary school, teachers usually do not spend or find time in helping children to acquire study skills. And also, high school teachers do not spend time in this area because they assume that the learners have already acquired the skill. Consequently, at no stage do the learners get any help to acquire study skills. So they do not, till now, they do not get study habits or acquire study skills. How they can study or how they follow the study habits and achieve their goal. It affects their studies when they go for higher education or take up courses through distance education. So, teaching study skills would help the learner spend less time in studying and learn more. So, building a good study habits, we can develop three question comes in our mind that when to study, where to study, and how much time to spend in study. Some learners study only just before the terminal examination. Some may even study the whole night and cram answer. But rote learning is not appropriate and not bring about any real learning. So we should avoid rote learning. Teaching the learner to plan their study is therefore a major responsibility of the teacher nowadays. So, learner may be advised to study each subject as close as possible to the class period for the subject, or before or after the class period. Thoroughly they cover the subject and be attentive in the class. So, where they can be studied, the best position for study is to sit upright at a table or a desk. Bed, of course, may be attractive and enticing, but once you lie down, the ensuing sleep is inevitable. So, whenever you study, you should make your position straight and should sit in the chair and follow or accelerate your study habits. It should also be remembered that recreation and leisure activity are vital. Whenever you study after 1 hour or 2 hours, you should be follow the leisure activity and recreational activity. Do some it makes your mind refresh and recharge your mind and to receive another uh, thing. Knowing that survey, if you develop your study habit, first of all you know the text. First of all you survey the textbook, read the preface and read the content, glance through the index and check for a glossary. Then after you easily interpret whatever you want to be study and what are useful to you. Then interpret the nonverbal items like map, chart, table, and graphs. And concept mapping. Concept mapping is a broad topic and is a technique uh, to develop to follow a timetable and also to make a note or to follow this note after a duration. So concept map is a very useful technique to the learner to develop their study skills. These concept mapping follow the steps like choose and determine the amount of information for studying, read through the whole material and has been chosen for studying, locate the central idea theme of what is being read, reread each paragraph and make a outline. Outline is useful also for study purpose because it serves as a guide for the logical arrangement of the material. For example, if you read the pollution chapter, you make a concept note, pollution, then you divide the pollution three types of pollution: air, water, and soil pollution. And air pollution, what is the cause and what is the effect. Make just like you make a concept map, and it is very useful for further reading. And the concept map is a very useful study habits. And note taking is also a useful study habit. By note taking, you refer this note after some time or some duration. And summarizing also is a very useful technique for developing study skills. Soft skills, study skills are reading and writing. We shall now look into yet another crucial skills which will learner need to order to get through. That is the examination and evaluation. After all, whatever we grasp or whatever the learners consume, it can be identified or detected by the task taking or examination or evaluation. Teachers could acquaint learners with the various kind of tests by giving them sample questions and discussing with them how they would answer these questions. So there are various technique to conduct test and to develop a habit to very easy develop a very easy behavior towards the examination. Sometimes the learners develop a fear psychosis toward examination, but if we conduct regularly, continuously and comprehensively the examination system, follow the examination system, the learners can very friendly and use usable or usability, develop usability with the examination system, and it is a useful technique to for them. So, distance learners are mostly adults, and the assumption then that they know how to study. But many of them, for one reason or other, drop out of courses. Lack of effective study strategy. So, this is the one major reasons for their problems. They do not follow the study skills or the do not develop a study skills or habit. That's why they drop out from middle of the courses or after some month of the courses. So we should have the counselors should have developed the skill of questioning and registering the important points and derive ways to solve the problems and to find out analogy between certain problems and views of analysis. These techniques are some nonverbal aids, conjunctive feature or glossary, advanced organizer. In your module, these all these are followed. Some nonverbal aids like chart, table, and diagrams, and conjunctive features like glossary and advanced organizer, and then sum up. All these features are very useful uh, um, to develop study habits and to maintain and continue the courses, and also the narrative style like determining words, finding main idea, drawing inference, drawing conclusion, etc. Then let's sum up the unit 3. Now we have completed the unit 3. In this unit, we you define now you can define the study skill conclusively and attempt to explain the term study skills appropriately and highlight the significance of teaching study skills and reference to classroom situation and also listed the important study skills. So here we have completed unit 1 here in the block 1, unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. In the next class, we go through the unit 4 of your block 1. So, thank you very much. Now I concluding my counseling session. Thank you very much.